Friends, welcome to Biology Made Easy. We have started discussing the biomolecules, and now from biomolecules we start with the carbohydrates. What are carbohydrates? Usually it is thought that any biomolecule having carbon, hydrogen, oxygen in the ratio of water, here this will be 2:1 and this will be 1. If this is present in this ratio, they are known as carbohydrates. So that is why we used to tell that that is C6H12O6, this is glucose, so that is a carbohydrate. But this idea is not accepted at present. I am giving one example. C5H10O4. This is not coming in the ratio of 1:2:1. But this is a deoxyribose sugar. Deoxyribose sugar, which is the major component of DNA, and that is a carbohydrate. Then I am giving another example. C2H4O2. This is coming in the ratio of 1:2:1. That means one will think that this is a carbohydrate. But you see, I am writing it as CH3COOH. This is acetic acid. That means one acid is giving the appearance of a carbohydrate, while one is carbohydrate, but that is not giving the appearance of a carbohydrate. That is why that type of idea is completely wrong. Then what is the correct definition of carbohydrates? Any organic compound that contains either one aldehyde group or keto group, that is a carbohydrate, or a derivative of a polyhydroxy alcohol. So any compound that contains either aldehyde or keto group, they are known as carbohydrates. This is the present accepted definition. And all the carbohydrates will have either any one of these. If it will have aldehyde group, then we will call it as aldolases. And if it has keto group, we will call it as ketoses. But they are all carbohydrates. Now these carbohydrates are classified in different ways, depending upon the carbon number. First, the carbohydrates we can classify it in a very broad way. It may be monosaccharides, then oligosaccharides, and polysaccharides. In monosaccharides, usually the carbon number ranges from carbon 3 to 10. Here, the oligosaccharides it ranges from 2 to 10 monosaccharides. And when more than 10 monosaccharides are present, it is polysaccharide. Now, we will discuss one by one. Today, first we will start with the monosaccharides. What are monosaccharides? In monosaccharides, the carbon usually ranges from 3 to 10, but commonly inside the cell, the carbon number varies from 3 to 6 and rarely 7. Because 3, 4, 5, 6, they are very common in the cell. That is one. Then cannot be further hydrolyzed because these are the simplest ones. These are present in a crystalline form. These are soluble in water, and these are sweet in taste. Because we are using the word sugars, means they are sweet in taste. And some of these monosaccharides, or you can tell most of the monosaccharides, they have the reducing power because they have either aldehyde group or keto group. So they can reduce cupric to cuprous. So usually all the monosaccharides and also some of the oligosaccharides, they can reduce cupric to cuprous. That means these monosaccharides also known as reducing sugars. So these are some of the characteristics of monosaccharides. Now again the monosaccharides are classified. The monosaccharides are classified basing on their carbon number. And already I have told you that the carbon number in the cell, whatever monosaccharide is present, it ranges from 3 to 6 usually. So if 3 carbons are there, it is known as triose. So naturally the formula will be C3H6 and O3. And again there may be aldoses or they may be ketoses. So what is the example? Triose and aldose, it will be glyceraldehyde. And triose ketone, this will be dihydroxy acetone phosphate. These are trioses. Now come to tetroses. Tetroses C4, H8 and O4. So this will be aldols, erythrose and erythrulose. Now come to pentoses. Pentoses C5H10 O5. The aldols will be ribose, arabinose, while here it will be ribulose. Then come to the hexosugar. These are hexoses, C6H12O6, and here it will be glucose, mannose, galactose, and here you can write fructose. Now if you analyze the function of these different types of monosaccharides, because before we go to the structure we have to discuss what are the importance of these monosaccharides. Now among the trioses, the glyceraldehyde dihydroxyacetone phosphate, these are the major compounds in case of photosynthesis and respiration. You will find in respiration glycolysis these two are formed, and again in photosynthesis during the Melvin-Calvin cycle these are formed. They are important components of photosynthesis and respiration. That is, they play a major role. Now you come to this erythrose. The erythrose is also one of the major compounds in the Calvin cycle or C3 cycle. And erythrose, it gives rise to different compounds in the plant bodies. Ribose, needn't say anything because you know so many things about ribose. Ribose is the sugar which is a component of RNA. It is also a component of all the energy carriers, ATP, GTP, all those things. And it is also present in the different types of vitamins like NAD, FAD, all these things, vitamins. So it is present in all these things. Arabinose is present in cellulose. If you come to glucose is known as blood sugar, because if it in case the person suffers from diabetics, it is also known as the grape sugar, because the major sugar present in grapes is this one. Then mannose is usually a non-sweetener, and it is not usually present in hair plants, but it is present in the nuts. And galactose is known as a brain sugar and also nerve sugar, because it is present in nerves and brains. While fructose is the real fruit sugar. This is fruit sugar. That means any fruit we are taking and it is sweet in taste, that is due to fructose. Whether it is papaya, whether it is banana, or whether it is any type of fruit that is sweet in taste is due to fructose because it gives a sweetness. So these are some of the fundamentals. What are monosaccharides and how they are classified and what is their function. Next we will switch over to this structure of these monosaccharides, which is very important because unless we have the idea about the structure of monosaccharides, we cannot understand oligosaccharides or polysaccharides, how they combine together. But that we'll discuss in the next one. Thank you very much for watching it. Have a break and again we'll meet.